It is Simon and Garfunkel Saturday. And last month, on April 1st, listened to all five albums by the Police. And that made me think, golly goodness, I can do this with artists whose catalogs are relatively short and, I'm already interested in listening to. Well, not too long ago, within the last year, I listened to this album called Graceland by an artist called Paul Simon. I've probably listened to that album at least in the top three most re-listens of anything I've ever reacted to. It was one of the best smiles I've continuously gotten to have in my life over the last year, maybe a little less. And I was like, man, I really want to listen to more of Paul Simon. And everybody was like, that's, the guy from Simon and Garfunkel. So I decided, given it was only a 5-album catalog, given the Police also had a 5-album catalog, I could do their catalog in a day. And we are going to begin with, so this isn't a stream, sorry, we're not going to be listening to Walton and Garooski Bridge Over Doubled Walter today. We're going to start out by listening to Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., and we're going to go through their chronology. So it will not be featuring today Walton and Garooski Bridge Over Doubled Walter, but we will be hopping in from the beginning. Now, guys, Simon and Garfunkel have been a duo that has been continuously brought to my attention. So many people have said, Walter, you're built to like these guys. Especially in my love of when I would listen to artists like Dylan in his folk era, especially when I listened to Simon and Garfunkel, or Paul Simon rather, everybody was like, Walter, you've got to start at the beginning with Paul Simon. So this is me doing that. I'm starting at the beginning. I'm going to do all of Simon and Garfunkel's music today, and then from there, we're going to kind of branch into what Paul Simon does after that. Guys, this is a music discovery stream, so I have to know, have you heard this album before? Are you familiar with this album and artist, or are you raw dogging a very first listen with me? Guys, this is a favorite to many people. It looks like it came out in 1964, totaling 12 tracks. It seems like most people in the chat know this one already. Double checking for the context crew really quick. Sorry, I've been eating some Sfoyadel and coffee, so if you hear me burp, do forgive. Paul Simon wrote the words, "He was my brother" in 1963. Okay, I'll revisit this as relevant. You've only heard the radio hits. I think that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I know the sound of silence, I think. If I do hear a song I recognize as I go through this, by the way, I will always tell you, oh, I know this, and from where, as best I can figure. Yeah, guys, hey, the times they are changing. Did they cover a Bob song? I know that one. I don't know their version of it, but now I'm really excited. Guys, I'm going to hit the play button. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button. It goes a long way to help me out. If you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Or join us on Kick or Twitch. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. These people over here are the best people. Come hang out with us. Come discover music with us. I know I speak for all of us when I say we would love to have you by. And by the way, while I'm thinking about it, I am looking for artists who have relatively short catalogs that we can make a Saturday out of. So if you happen in your brain to know an artist that's going to be adjacent to interests you already know I got, that I could knock out in a 9 to 5 scenario, or in this case, like a 10:30 to 6:30 scenario, whatever, let me know. Put it in the comments, put it in the Discord, let me know. We'll go from there, guys. Without further ado, Simon and Garfunkel. Let's get this catalog going, beginning to end, and see what we think. Here we go. Wednesday morning, 3 a.m., opening up with the song You Can Tell the World. Here we go. This reminds me of early Bob Dylan immediately.
Well, you can't tell the world about this. You can tell the nation about that. Tell them what the master has done. Tell them what the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, 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 joy into my heart.
Are we... This isn't kind of what I expected of them to sound like. I love the sound of their voices together. It seems like it reminds me of this song that I learned as a child in children's church. I got the joy, 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 joy down in my heart. You know, and I don't know if that's by design that they're kind of doing that intentional play off of it. Definitely give me your input, because maybe that song came out after this one, truly.
Joy, 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 joy.
It is a traditional song. Got it.
Into my heart. Well, my Lord spoke so well. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Talk about the flames that burn in hell. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now, my Lord spoke so well. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Talk about the children of Israel. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought joy, joy, joy into my heart.
So, tell me, who is the one that's really screaming with the yes it did? Like, who's the shouter and who's the backing harmony? So it's just occurring to me as I see this exciting new sounds in folk tradition. So are these songs primarily going to be folk covers? Do any of the Sound of Silence, is that their own version? Like, do they have any originals on this one? Paul is the lower range shouter. Art is the higher register. Okay. This album was a debut flop. Paul Simon went off to England solo and played coffee shops and pubs. Wow. Okay.
Joy, 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 joy into my heart.
So was their first album kind of similar to Dylan's in that they were kind of forced into doing folk tradition stuff?
Well, my Lord spoke so well. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Talk about the flames that burn in hell. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Now, my Lord spoke so well. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Talk about the children of Israel. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought joy, joy, joy into my heart. Well, you can't tell the world about this. You can tell the nation about that. Tell them what the master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, 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 joy into my heart.
Isn't one of them Jewish?
Well, my Lord spoke
Well, I guess so is Dylan.
to me. Yes, he did.
Both.
Yes, he did.
Both of them. Look, I'm an expressed man of faith, but I feel like it's kind of turdish to ask two Jewish guys to sing a song about Jesus and the joy. I'm kind of twisted about that. I know he was, but modern Jews don't believe in him, right? Like, it feels like it's an overt Christian offense to Jewish people. And I'm saying this as a Christian. This really sucks. I don't like what I'm thinking. And, maybe they had no qualms about it, right? Like, to them, maybe they were just singing songs, but like, it feels gross to ask two guys that are Jewish to sing Jesus praise songs. I don't know.
Talk about a man from Galilee. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. My Lord spoke.
You don't know that they were forced to play it? Fair enough.
Yes, he did. Talk about a man from Galilee. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He brought joy, joy, joy into
They play it tremendously.
Can't tell the world about this. You tell the nation about that. Tell them what the master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won.
And I do appreciate you saying that, Beld. I'm reading too much into it. Speaking again, that's totally possible. I just in my brain, I can't imagine like me asking like a person who didn't practice my faith to participate within songs of it. And that's just my, I don't know. So thank you for giving me that perspective. If I'm reading too much into something, I think I should be told. There's no doubt that these guys play really, really, really well. There's also no doubt that this is like a one-take scenario where they're just in a room playing together. So if you've ever tried to sync up with somebody singing, it doesn't always just come naturally. The fact that they're doing this, and then does Paul Simon play? Who is playing the guitar in this context, or do they both play? How does the instrumentation with either with Simon or Garfunkel work?
Joy, 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 joy into my heart.
All in guitar?
I don't know, but I've been told. Yes, it did. Streets of heaven are paved with gold. Yes, it did. Now the Jordan River is chilly and wide. Yes, it did. I got a home on the other side.
That part is art.
Yes, it did. Brought joy, joy, joy into my heart.
Just so I'm clear, this is art, or the loudest. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Left ear.
Tell the nation about that. Tell them what the master has done. Tell them that the gospel has come. Tell them that the victory's been won. He brought joy, 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 joy into my heart.
When you listen to the joy, joy, joys, one's going up and one's going down.
Joy, joy, victory's been won. He brought joy, 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 joy into my heart.
Counter motion at its peak. That I honestly, it's a little bit different when you hear like you can definitely tell like the folk tradition, right? Like acoustic guitar, dude's voice. It feels like it was probably in the same vein as like what was happening with Bob. Maybe, I mean, were these guys also New Yorkers? So it's feasible that they were working with similar people, I would imagine, right? I mean, maybe I'm totally off on that. But were they kind of in the same scene as Bob? Like, are these guys in the, you know, are these guys in what, the Village? I you know, where same record producer? All okay. Okay, I didn't realize that they were all in the same.
Last night I had the strangest dream I ever
Who plays banjo?
dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war. I dreamed I saw a mighty room. The room was filled with men, and the paper they were signed and said they'd never fight again. And when
It's pretty interesting when I only have the reference of Paul Simon's voice from the Graceland album to hear his voice now. I'm pretty confident that like Paul Simon's got the right ear and that Art Garfunkel has the left ear. But it's pretty amazing to hear how a man's voice evolves over the course of time, right? Like you can hear this with really any artist who's got like a long tenured catalog, you know, like listen to Bob Dylan. I mean, dang, while there was an accident involved, Frank Zappa's voice changed. You know, when you hear guys go from like young men to like men, it's kind of an interesting evolution. And there's no doubt hearing this versus Graceland, Paul Simon's voice evolved.
And when the papers all were signed,
What's up, Scoots?
million copies made, they all joined hands and bowed their heads, and grateful prayers were prayed, and the people in the streets below were dancing.
What's up, BHP? How you doing, man? Also, yeah, I was about to say, I never got the banjo answer, so thank you, Barry Cornfield. Got it. Please do indicate to me when we get to either Simon or Garfunkel's originals, just so I know which ones that actually, of their own, actually made it.
Round and round, and guns and swords and uniforms were scattered on the ground.
Is that
Last night
I love a good banjo run, and you can hear the banjo when you just see those fingers. You know, like I can see it happening in my brain. The finger arpeggiation thing there is just so cool.
Last night I had the strangest dream I ever dreamed before. I dreamed the world had all agreed to put an end to war.
This definitely reminds me of the early folk. Like it makes perfect. By the way, people get really weird about how I say the word folk, as if their side of the Mississippi is any better than mine. Folk. Get out of here. Sorry, I had to get my chop out.
Fogs rolling in off the East River bank
Ooh.
like a shroud.
Immediately it comes in and I'm like, ooh, when you guys are like original. So immediately it stands out to me. I also immediately am brought to this acoustic duo in the modern age called the Milk Carton Kids. It didn't occur to me that maybe they were doing a Simon and Garfunkel thing, except those guys have two acoustic guitar players, but the harmonies definitely make me feel like those two guys in the Milk Carton Kids learned how to butter their bread by listening to Simon and Garfunkel harmonies.
Fogs rolling in off the East River bank like a shroud. It covers Bleecker Street, fills the alleys where men sleep, hides the shepherd from the sheep.
I love this one a lot.
Voices leaking.
Who plays the other guitar parts? This is like,
Voices leaking from a sad cafe.
I can't get past how great their harmonies are.
Try to understand. I saw a shadow touch a shadow's hand on Bleecker Street.
And the way they kind of paint the imagery out there, you know, like, or I guess Paul paints the imagery there. It kind of puts you into a day in the life, but on kind of a bleak day, which is, kind of ironic because you're on Bleecker Street, which, as I understand it, is like a really big street in New York City.
Shadow touch a shadow's hand on Bleecker Street. crooked rhyme. Holy, holy is his sacrament. $30 pays your rent on Bleecker Street.
So did they just grow up together? Did they know each other from the neighborhood? How did it go?
I heard a church bell softly chime in a melody sustaining. It's a long road to Canaan on Bleecker Street.
So they've been homies for a long time. Do you think success in music caused them to not be friends anymore? See Discord. I'll check Discord after the ad break. This has been tremendous. I think a really... So this is the first Paul Simon song that we hear, I guess. Friends since 6th grade. So yeah, this is the first like Paul Simon written song we hear, I guess, huh? Give me a few. We're going to revisit the context after the ad break. Okay. Ad break should be finished up. Now, as I understand it, these guys have been friends since they were like kids. By the way, Mike, thank you for the sub, dude. I appreciate the heck out of it. Amazon Prime. You only get one of those. Thanks. So, excuse me. Let me know again what the deal is with the friendship, why they went their separate ways. If they were friends that long, definitely update me. Bleecker Street easily been my favorite, and maybe there's just a sense of like you can feel originality out of it. Coming into Sparrow, they had, how you say it, egos. Got it. Like the waffles? Sparrow. They reconciled a few years ago? Well, thank goodness.
Lovely little sparrow who's traveled far and cries for rest. Night eyes to the oak tree. I won't share my branches with no sparrow's nest, and my blanket of leaves.
Consider the birds, guys.
Lovely little sparrow, and who will speak a kindly word? Night eyes to the swan. The entire idea is utterly absurd. I'd be laughed at and scorned if the other swans heard.
Still no bird emote. We're getting there. This like kind of train run, like bum 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 bum, builds such a like kind of a tension, but also like you get some release with their harmonies.
And who will take pity in his heart?
Was he nice?
And who will feed a starving sparrow? Night eyes to the golden wheat. I would if I could, but I cannot, I know.
His songwriting, his use of meter.
To prosper and grow. jolly little sparrow, will no one ride?
It almost has like a spaghetti western gone acoustic sort of vibe.
I will say the earth, for all I've created returns unto me. From dust were ye made, and dust ye shall be.
Wow. Be. So Garfunkel was more conventionally attractive, so he got more famous and was acting in movies. Paul hated waiting around and probably resented Garfunkel's level of fame, and it's a fairly common tale, really. Success in music and film, in Art's case, led to a clash of ego and different creative energies. Okay. Takes folk and Americana. I think he'd really love country, honestly. Depends, maybe. I'm hesitant. I don't know. He was agreeable to answer questions. So I guess it kind of, and you said they've recently like reconciled, right? But in my brain, I've never heard of like a Art Garfunkel movie. I couldn't tell you anything. Like, I certainly don't know of any of his other works. Like, I definitely have heard plenty of people talk about Paul Simon. So it seems like, you know, I don't know. Do you feel like Paul Simon, and maybe this is a theme that a lot of people have a lot of opinions on, was better with Simon and Garfunkel or as Paul Simon? Garfunkel fame peaked in '69. Okay. Ooh. Paul Simon was in Annie Hall? Who was he? That is a movie that perfectly describes how much I love Woody Allen movies and dislike Woody Allen. I feel like Alfie is a character that is probably way closer to Woody Allen in reality than I'd care to admit. And the cinematographer... No. See, the guitar, the harmonies, the cello backing or the bass backing, this is beautiful. I didn't know that was Paul Simon. That's why I was laughing about the cinematographer bit, thinking that was the whole, don't I know you from the cinematographer's party? And I know what I know. Just an old hymn, huh? arranged like a tree wig. Yep. So Benedictus, huh? This is one I know. Lyricist is Paul Simon. I don't know if I think I only. So look, I heard this song for the very first time in the movie The Watchmen at the comedian's funeral. And look, say what you will, but I also heard Bob Dylan for the first time in the movie The Watchmen. So I think that movie is probably the best comic book adaptation of anything into film in the comic world. Some differences, but not enough to like affect anything, and an amazing soundtrack. But yeah, I first heard this song in that movie. And let's see. Yeah, I the same with The Times They Are A-Changin', because it was the very first song in the movie. So yeah, just so you know.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
So I don't know which one I've heard then. Yo, Planet Neutral, thank you for the raid! Brewskis, make our friends feel at home. I also never realized how dynamic these harmonies were. Like, when you listen with really good headphones, headphone crew, identify yourselves. You got one in left and one in right ear, and you can hear just the individual vibratos in their voice. I'm so glad I'm wearing tuned headphones for this. Also, you'll notice down here, we're listening in 192 kilohertz audio quality. So this is like as nice as audio sound's gonna get.
Because a vision softly creeping,
wow,
left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence.
You can hear the room that they're in.
Restless dreams I walked alone. Narrow streets of cobblestone.
Oh man.
Neath the halo of a street lamp.
Overdubs.
I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence.
I've never listened to the lyrics before. I think most people just know the "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend" part, right? And the sound of silence part, right? But yeah, you can hear even just the details in their accents. Like, this feels so much more personal when you hear it as a song and not as like a supplement to a film. I've come to talk with you again because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains with the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. You really just have this massive imagery, of just, he paints this beautiful picture, like in a kind of a dim scene, you know what I mean? Like, of maybe somebody kind of stuck in dark thought, kind of walking through a dark, dim night and like coming up on a light. Like, you can see that scene. And these harmonies.
Split the night and touch the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed the wells of silence.
I'm like really hit between the eyes right now. And in the naked light, I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices never share. And no one dared disturb the sound of silence. Really?
Of silence. Fool said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you.
Art's voice in the left ear is just...
But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence.
You know, I think what maybe the most beautiful thing about that, like you could argue that the guitar playing, the somber nature of the song, you could argue, you know, the joint atmosphere that their voices and guitar create, you know, the uplift moment and kind of that kind of pick yourself up and kind of walking moment whenever the other instruments come in. You could say, yeah, I think that the best instrument in this song was the lyrics. You know? Like... And people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning, and the words that it was forming, and the sign said, the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds of silence. The holy cats. The like, you know, that's a song I've probably known of for such a long time, right? Like I said, having heard it in The Watchmen, like I always, you know, kind of knew of it, but I never really I guess that band covered it, what, Disturbed covered it or somebody covered it, and everybody became obsessed with that cover. But that cover was just never really for me, so I never really went out of my way to listen to either of them. Because like, why would I? This actual music as art. Golly goodness. He was my brother. There's context for this one. Okay, so this is the one that has context on it. Got it. Thank you. Context. He was my brother in 1963. The song imagines a civil rights activist who travels to the South and is killed by a mob. Andrew Goodman was a 20-year-old Jewish civil rights volunteer, a classmate of Simon's at Queens College, and a friend to both Simon and Garfunkel. On June 21 of 1964, Goodman arrived in Mississippi as part of Freedom Summer, a campaign to register black voters. Goodman, along with Michael Schwerner, also Jewish, and James Chaney, a black activist from Mississippi, met with members of the Neshoba County Black Church that had been burned down. That evening, Deputy Sheriff Cecil Price stopped their car and arrested the three. Price was a member of the White Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, the KKK. While the three sat in jail, Price coordinated with fellow Klansmen. Later that night, he released the three men, sped after their car, pulled them over a second time, and personally delivered them to a group of more than 20 Klansmen. The Klansmen included policemen, the county sheriff, and Edgar Ray Killeen, a Baptist minister who led the local Klan chapter and organized the ambush. The mob abducted the three men, shot them, and buried them in an earthen dam. An autopsy would find red clay dirt in Goodman's lungs, and clenched in his fist, they buried him alive. Oh my God. The FBI investigated and indicted 18 men. 7 were convicted for civil rights violations, not murder. Only the states could indict for murder, but the Mississippi officials refused to prosecute, charge, or even investigate the crime. Not a single one of the killers served more than 6 years in prison until 2005, when Killeen was finally convicted of manslaughter. He died in prison in 2018. Simon and Garfunkel, both Jewish, had recorded the song 3 months before the murders. After learning of his death, Simon dedicated the song to Andrew Goodman. Bro.
He was my brother, 5 years older than I. He was my brother, 23 years old, the day he died. Curse my brother to his face. Go home, outsider. This town's gonna be your burying place.
It's just mind-blowing to me that that's like how people thought that that was a beneficial use of their time, energy, resources, and life. Wait a minute. These Jews like black people? Well, let's kill them. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. So you're saying that this was recorded a few months before and then ends up getting dedicated.
They curse my brother to his face. Go home, outsider. This town's gonna be your burying place. trailed along. They shot my brother dead
You can hear it speeding up.
because he hated what was wrong.
They shot my brother dead because he hated what was wrong. Unfortunately speaking, I feel like this is kind of still the world we live in. And yes, hate is wrong. I would, just in this moment of my life, ask anybody to err on the side of caution, regardless of what your belief system or backing is like, or political system is. I don't care. Err on the side of love. I tell you, I think that that's maybe where the world gets better. If we can stop taking things so personal as a personal affront, if we can recognize that most people, I genuinely think, have good hearts, you know, I think maybe sometimes we bring out the worst in other people because of what we bring to the table with our preconceived notions, our attitudes, you know, and the way we look at the world. And I think if we could kind of look at the world as everybody's kind of afraid of everybody else, you know, like I really think more people are afraid of you than you are of them. And at the end of the day, maybe this is the Southern boy coming out of me who like grew up waving to people I drove by. I don't know, but I feel like if we could take that attitude and just decide, like, you know, even if I'm having a terrible day and even if I'm mad at the world around me, I think people still deserve some love, kindness, and smile. You know, believe it or not, I've been smiled at by a random person and it just shifted my attitude, my day. Not even words exchanged. But I think that if we could just move forward in love and recognize that a lot of the times, you know, our negative actions cause negative reactions. You know, it all starts with addressing ourselves first, not other people. And I don't think any benefit has ever come from one person screaming into another person's face. Certainly not shooting somebody dead because they disagreed. You know, I don't think it's a political statement to say let's try to err on the side of love. So that's where I'm coming from.
They shot my brother dead because he hated what was wrong.
I think the KKK, yeah, based take Elf.
He was my brother. Tears can't bring him back to me. He was my brother, and he died so his brothers could be free. He died so his brothers could be free.
That was beautiful. And heartbreaking. And I think one can accomplish a lot with art when you can toe the line in the sand of beautiful and heartbreaking. You know? Judo, I'm not going to lie to you, buddy. The length of the context almost dissuaded me from doing so because, as I have confessed in the past, I'm bad at reading out loud and I get self-conscious about it, and I feel like one of you guys is going to say, today, Junior, and it goes through my head every time. But I will say I've actively been working on reading out loud so I don't seem like a stuttering dingleberry when I'm trying to read, because it's like I can read fast in here, just not out here. And I retain well, but it's tough when you're on a camera, and you know, I always hated when the teacher called on me to read, not because I couldn't read, because I was, you know, I'm really smart, but I'm just not good at doing it out loud. I'm better at memorizing and going that way than trying to read something. It's how I can do it. So, anyways, it was great context. It made me feel like I got a little bit better today at reading out loud. So thank you. Peggy O. Babe, doesn't the Dead do Peggy O? Doesn't the Dead do Peggy O? Yeah. I don't know if it's the same song or not. No, we'll see. Simon and Garfunkel, Peggy O is a traditional folk song. Got it. Okay. It's on Dylan's first album too. Okay, I remembered it that way. Hang on. I'm nearly positive. Grateful Dead. Bingo flippin' bango. I wonder, is it the same one though? Yeah. Good to know. I will now have 3 different Peggy O artists in my Rolodex of Peggy O's. I'll have Bob's, I'll have Jerry's, and now Paul. Paul and Art's.
As we march down to Venerio, as we march down to Venerio, our captain fell in love with a lady like a dove, and they called her name Pretty Peggy O. Come running downstairs.
How do you not smile listening to this?
Come running downstairs, Pretty Peggy O. Come running downstairs, combing back your yellow hair. You're the prettiest little girl I've ever seen. Oh.
Hey, babe, you're the prettiest little girl I've ever seen. Oh. I really, really love the way they play this. And honestly, I think it's one of those ones that, like, it's kind of a song you gotta respect, especially when you hear other people, like, do their takes to it. This is tremendously different than Bob. This is tremendously different than Jerry and the Dead. But all of the vibes are relevant. I would listen to each of the different versions and different moods.
In a carriage you will ride, Pretty Peggy O. In a carriage you will ride, Pretty Peggy O. In a carriage you will ride with your true love by your side, as fair as any maiden in the area. What will your mother say, Pretty Peggy O?
I will say,
what will your mother say, Pretty Peggy O?
My current impression of the folk scene in the time period is the movie the Bob Dylan movie, A Complete Unknown. Seeing the way they were kind of like, you know, it's got to be a man, a complete unknown. Yeah, it's got to be a man and a guitar. You know, that's kind of what my impression of this genre is. Babe, I think you'd really like the first album. It's super good. This whole thing has been tremendous. Yeah, dudes, I each Peggy O is a different vibe, distinctly though.
What will your mother say, Pretty Peggy O? What will your mother say when she finds you've gone away?
Whose voice do you like better out of Paul or Art? Come again? I don't know. Like, I like both of them, right? I know you're saying Paul, but like, Art goes for it in some of these songs. Like, that man's voice gets the up their pipes. I think that they both do different things entirely, which is why they blend so well together. But like, not to pick the better singer, just who do you like better? Like, who's is more to your taste? I think that they're both tremendous, especially when together. And let's be honest, like Paul Simon, I heard Graceland, clearly great on his own. I'm just interested if you have a flavor you prefer.
What will your mother say, pretty Peggy O? What will your mother say when she finds you've gone away to places far and strange, to Venerio?
This also reminds me of Kings of Convenience.
If ever I return, pretty Peggy O. If ever I return, pretty Peggy O. If ever I return, all your cities I will burn, destroying all the ladies in the area. Destroying all the ladies in the area.
Paul actually said once that his biggest flaw in singing is that he couldn't sing dishonestly, unlike Dylan, who he admired for this. Oh, your cities I will burn. What a metal lyric in the middle of the most calm, soothing, kind folk run ever. This has really, really, really been tremendous. We have only a few songs to go. It seems like the albums from they all kind of kept it like 45 minutes or less, 30 some minutes or less. How long, what was the standard amount of music you could have on one side of vinyl? Just out of curiosity, forgive me if this is like Doy Walter knowledge. About 23?
Hallelujah, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lonely manger, the humble Christ.
It's great. No, I'm not saying anything against it. It's just amazing to me that they did it. Like Art's voice in the left ear.
Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watch, or silent flocks by night, behold, throughout the heavens there shone a holy light. Hallelujah, go tell it on the mountain.
I think they did a truly tremendous job of mixing by putting both dudes' voice panned to the left and to the right, because it really gives you a sense of like, you know, Simon and Garfunkel. You're really, and then what happens in between your brain when you're hearing left and right ear, and when you hear either guy go for it, you really get to appreciate it. And I don't think you get that same thing when you don't listen with headphones or like a stereo system. Like when you just hear their music on the radio or walking by someplace, you don't necessarily get like the dynamics of what their voices do.
Over the hills and everywhere, go tell it on the mountain, Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lonely manger, the humble Christ was born, and God sent salvation that blessed Christmas morn. Hallelujah, go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go
He really goes for it. Did you hear his voice crack? There's something.
hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain, Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born.
Yeah, he was. Love that guy. I love that Jesus guy. So we have 3 songs to go. First timers, those of you that have not heard this album before, let me know, how is it hitting you? How are you feeling as far as, Simon and Garfunkel's journey? Also, give me a spoiler here. Are all of their albums together guitar and voices? Like, do they have other instruments that kind of join? I mean, obviously here I'm hearing like the bass, the banjo, stuff like that. But like, do we ever get like a band? Or there? No. So it's just them. Okay. Got it. No, they go electric. It gets fuller. Oh, it does? Their last album is fully EDM and dubstep. Okay, perfect. I know, babe.
The sun is burning in the sky. Strands of clouds go slowly drifting by. In the park, the lazy bees are droning in the flowers among the trees.
Is this one that they wrote? Nope. A traditional.
Now the sun is in the west. Little kids go home.
So if Art doesn't play guitar, who does the second guitar parts when they are in a live context? Did they travel with another guitar player?
To take their rest, and the couples in the park are holding hands and waiting for the dark, and the sun is in the west.
I definitely think acoustic duos like the Milk Carton Kids and like Kings of Convenience are buttering their bread off of the foundation I'm hearing here.
The sun is sinking low. Children play, know it's time to go. High above, a spot appears, a little blossom blooms and then draws near, and the sun is sinking low. Now the sun has come to earth, shrouded in a mushroom cloud of death.
Like this.
Death comes in a blinding flash of hellish heat and leaves a smear of ash, and the sun has come to earth. Now the sun has disappeared. All is darkness, anger, pain, and fear. Twisted, sightless wrecks of men go groping on their knees and cry in pain.
Wow.
And the sun has disappeared.
Ian Campbell wrote this one. This, even just something like the hellish heat and leaves, death comes in a blinding flash of hellish heat and leaves a smear of ash. Like, that line is so image heavy. I could see. This is definitely the album with the most protest songs. Okay. So we have The Times They Are a Changin', which is, I've only heard Bob's version, so I am incredibly excited about this one.
Come and gather round, people, wherever you roam, and admit that the waters around you have grown, and accepted that soon you'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving,
then you better start swimming or you'll sink like a stone, for the times they are a-changin'. Oh. Well, Bob wrote it. You gotta say that while you can like a different version better, they're totally different versions, right? Like hearing Bob do it, it's a very different thing because he's kind of like, full of spit and vinegar, but also believing like, hey, hope can come, we can change things, and there's something about the conviction that he sings that song with, and hearing the way that these guys do it, it feels like kind of a virtuosic display of harmonies. And you know that they're singing it because they believe these words, Like, I think to say Bob Dylan was the voice of a generation makes a lot of sense when you see how many people sang his songs after he wrote them. But, I'm spit and vinegar. Fair enough.
You'll be drenched to the bone. If your time to you is worth saving, then you better start swimming or you sink like a stone, for the times they are a-change.
The harmonies are just so tasteful. But it's a completely different song than Bob.
Writers and critics who prophesize with your pen, and keep your eyes wide, the chance won't come again. And don't speak too soon, for the wheel's still in spin.
This feels like a much...
No telling who that it's naming.
This is a lot less kind of draggy and flubby. Part of Bob's thing is I think he's kind of drags it, has a little bit of a slow vibe.
Of the loser now will be later to win, for the times they are a-change.
Bob isn't as polished, is what I'm trying to say.
Come senators, congressmen, please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorways, don't block up the hall, for he that gets hurt will be he that has stalled. The battle outside raging will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changing.
I love the harmonies there. Did Bob have much to say about Simon and Garfunkel or vice versa?
Over the land, and don't criticize what you can't understand. Your sons and your daughters are beyond your command. Your old road is rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are a-change.
It definitely seems like Art here is singing more like Appalachian country harmony.
Rapidly aging. Please get out of the new one if you can lend your hand, for the times they are a-changing. The line it is drawn, the curse it is cast. This slow one now will later be fast, and the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading. The first one now will later be last, for the times they are a-changing.
In a not competition kind of way. It's a good cover. It does not it doesn't surpass Bob, but it's a good cover. It's definitely done in their own way. But I don't think it's meant to compare. I got to run an ad break, and then we're going to come back and knock the last song of the first album out and see how we think. All right, homies. Let's close her down, shall we? We have one more song to go. For the first timers, how has the album hit you? How are we feeling about it? And here we go. For the familiars, where does this album rank for you? And this is a Paul song.
I can hear the soft breathing of the girl that I love, as she lies here beside me, asleep with the night. and her hair in a fine mist floats on my pillow, reflecting the glow of the winter moonlight.
This is so nice. The words, the love in the air vibe.
She is soft, she is warm, but my heart remains heavy, and I watch as her breast gently rise, gently fall. For I know with the first light of dawn I'll be leaving.
Oh, dang.
And tonight will be all I have left.
Dang, he's getting out of Dodge. Dang.
Oh, what have I done? Why have I done it? I've committed a crime, broken the law. For $25 and pieces of silver, I held up and robbed a heart.
This took a hard left turn. I didn't see it going that way. I didn't see it going that way.
My life seems unreal, my crime an illusion, a scene badly written in which I must play. Yet I know as I gaze at my young love beside me, the morning is just a few hours away.
I didn't see it going that direction. That stuck the landing tremendously. I certainly didn't see it going that way. What's your read on that? Is he like envisioning that, like, did he already commit the crime and he knows he's going away for it, or is he imagining doing the crime? You know, like they've both fully arrived in terms of their voices, and production is perfect, but only the sound stands fully on its own apart from the folk sound that we're mining here. I really enjoyed it. It wasn't like mind blowing. Like, I really feel like Freewheelin' is better, but at the same time, if you look at Bob Dylan, like the solo titled album, I think I probably like this one better than that one. Not again that I'm sitting here trying to compare. I'm just talking folk scene. Like, these are really the only two ones I've artists rather in the scene I've got. This was tremendous though. What a first impression. Guys, I'm eager to get into the rest of this thing. I'm hoping the next one we get more originals. Because I'm definitely liking the original. I did do a Joan Baez album. I did a Joni Mitchell one as well, and I guess it's just Joni Mitchell is kind of more West Coast, I think. Funny, the folk scene comes in East Coast and West Coast too, kind of like those rap guys. Huh, I never thought about it that way. Are you an East Coast or a West Coast folk person? Let me know. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. Goodbye.